Welcome back. Today, I'm going to show you a not very known bunker that I put inside of a 2x1. Build cost is on the screen now, and the raid cost is at 23 rockets. Now, let's get into the building. Starting off, what you have to do is you have to place 2 foundations to sit on while you try and place another 2. You start by placing one, and then hold A or D without moving your mouse until you see the blue shift a little bit to the side. Now, what this does is it offsets one foundation. Now, there's going to be a little bit gap when you place the twig walls, and this will show that you've done it correctly. You no longer need the original 2 foundations or the walls. Okay, so this is the core that you're going to start off with. This is the starter because, well, it lets you build it and it's more efficient. You don't waste materials and it lets you get your base up faster. All of the twig that I'm upgrading is at its final tier. So if you don't have the current materials at this time, it's fine because you could always get it later. Most twig that I leave is because it's going to be removed later, by either being replaced by a ladder or a ladder hatch. Now this is the end of the starter. After you have this down, you can safely store away your materials, and you can get on to building the rest of the base. Starting with the honeycomb, around the HQM, or whatever tier you have to upgrade at this time, you want to build metal honeycomb around it. We go on to build the second floor, but make sure to leave walls in the front open that allows you to make a jump up so you can actually get inside of the base. Now, as we're finishing off the base, you want to upgrade this triangle to HQM, just to make it so it's not a cheap raid path further on once you have the base complete. Now for the jump up to get actually inside of the base. You can build twig and upgrade it to wood if you can't seal it so no one griefs it, or if you do have a ladder, you can just place a ladder there. Now, if you have made it this far, good job. All we're gonna do here is build a little jump up so you get on the roof. You can upgrade this into a full shooting floor, or anything else that you may want to put on your roof. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be showing that in this video, but I do have plans for future videos to make a full shooting floor and everything on the base. Now, to make sure your base is safe from all those cheeky raiders, you want to add this one last little piece of honeycomb right beside the one wall of metal on the back. Now, once you get this honeycomb on, you want to place one more layer of honeycomb right on the side where you would jump into the core. You'll see where. Now time for the doors and windows. On the roof, you want to get a little door and a window on the top with a ladder hatch going down. Now on the second floor, you need to add more wall frames to put garage doors on, just to make that raid cost even higher. These triangles can be used for whatever you want, but what I decided to put in here is furnaces, and on the other 2, I like to do barbecues and small boxes under them. Now, the reason I'm using windows frames for each of these triangles is so when you log off, you can put reinforced windows on each one, and if they decide to raid through the second floor, the raid cost will be even higher. Now, if you have not done this part already, you want to put doors and windows on the entrance to your base. Now, leaving this square open allows you to place an oil refinery. Now, facing the door, placing the oil refinery on the bottom right hand of the square allows it so you have full mobility around it. You can finally remove this twig and replace it with either a ladder or a ladder hatch. The TC has to be on one of the back corners of the base. Now, when you do this bunker, you're gonna have a shelf that lets you put boxes on top of it, and then you can open the boxes through the wall. Now, placing all this stuff, you wanna make sure you leave the wall twig. Now, you wanna place two shelves. One allows direct access through the wall, and the other is just more storage. You need to place the side boxes first to have perfect placement, and then you can place these ones second. Now you want to make sure when you place the boxes, the little rectangle is facing toward you. This makes it so the front of the box that has the lock on it allows you to see it so you can actually put in the code. Now, you can fit up to 2 bags inside this bunker. This allows it so if you have a friend that joins you late into a wipe, you could bag him in to get the code. Removing these top boxes allows it so you can get out of the bunker and move all your loot to make sure you have the correct loot inside of the bunker for when you close it fully. You can put more storage up here, as I assume you probably will need it. One word of advice, I would make sure you have all your garage doors or doors placed first before you get into the really tricky box placement, just because you might have to pick up the boxes later in order to get the garage door or sheet metal door down. And hey, you want some draw boxes too? Well, you can have them. You can fit up to 3 large boxes in here, but this one is kind of hard to place. Now some final adjustments. If you have not already replaced this ladder with a ladder hatch, you can do that. Now finalizing up the bunker, you can get the final 2 boxes placed down. The final box is usually the hardest. Now if you can't get this down, you can just put it inside the bunker and then seal it off with an HQM wall to later put it in once you spawn in the bunker. Now, as you can see, there is a crack that lets you access the 2 locked boxes. If you do have new teammates, or you yourself have trouble accessing the boxes, you can place 2 low walls that gives you perfect alignment that lets you look inside. We can now get the last box placed down. And this box placement might get you stuck, But you know what? It's fine, because with this base, you know that you're not going to get offlined. Just put all your loot away in your bunker, and you can sleep soundly tonight.